Hello, social service worker 2 people. It's great to be back in the saddle. I really am looking forward to seeing you all again, starting anew, and really getting into the meat and potatoes of this program and taking all of the theory that you've learned and starting to apply it, think differently, grow in your understanding, and so it's going to be fun. When I said meat and potatoes, for the vegetarians, the the tofu and edamame or whatever. Couple of things. Some confusion for which I'm responsible around books. It is not, your books are not e-text, they are hand copy books. If you picked up used text from last year, I'm quite certain that those books have not shifted. There might be an updated edition and you'll just have to check with your professor. I have the list. I don't have it in front of me, but I think I sent an email. If I haven't sent an email, I'm going to be sending it and loading it onto Blackboard. Some of them are not available yet in the bookstore. There was a lot of confusion in the ways in which there's a new book ordering portal that created some delays. They'll be there in time, not to worry. In the meantime, though, there are some things that I need to kind of crack the whip on. Updated criminal record checks, release of information forms needed to be in. So some of you, if you haven't done that, please get those in as soon as you can. At the absolute latest, you've got to address that at the orientation this Thursday at 10:30. Can't wait to see you guys. We don't know what room it's in, but when you come in on Thursday to the commons area, the general commons area, there'll be signs and all kinds of things like that. I understand that some of you also need to see Lorianne, the nurse on campus. So please, if that applies to you, go ahead and do that. Again, we'll have some clarity. If you're not sure if these things apply to you, we're going to know on Thursday and be able to clarify that. If you do know that you haven't submitted these things, oh, for God's sake, what are you waiting for? Anyway, it's going to be a good year. You're going to be getting some really cool perspectives from people like Ariana Tomacek, who is the executive director of the Family and Children's Services. She's going to be talking to you. She's going to be teaching Social Welfare 3. You're going to get some really cool perspectives from Greg Lebimith, who is the executive director, social worker, both are social workers, and executive director of the Phoenix Center. So children's mental health is obviously going to be a big part of the thrust he's going to bring you, but of course you're going to get other information from him as well. So you're getting, we've set up a year that is extremely value added for you folks. There was some discussion about last year about possibly getting you guys some certifications and maybe footing the bill for that. We're working on it. There's suicide assist, there's mental health first aid, there's safe spaces training. I'm looking at all of those options. The one that's the most expensive that I think is a really good is the mental health first aid. I'm working on getting some sponsorship for us to be able to get that training, for you folks to be able to graduate with that certification on your resume, which I just think is top notch. So stand by for that. Know that that's still in our orbit, that's still on our radar, and we're going to do right by you in that regard. I'm excited about a fresh start. It's going to be a time of you folks being really engaged, and I know you're ready. You've had 3 or 4 months off to kind of reflect. You've come back, and it's going to be a continued process of learning and growing, and us learning from you and you from us. And we're all stepping up. We're all stepping up to really fully engage in the learning process. Some of the things that are really important to me is individual responsibility. No one's going to say that some of the things we look at, some of the things we encounter aren't going to challenge us, push our buttons, send us sometimes close to the edge where we're angry, frustrated, whatever. What's really important for me at the outset is that we own that and say, here's how I'm feeling. This is pushing me. This is too much for me, or I'm angry about this, or I'm frustrated about this. And that we own it and we say it, and then we can respond to it. What we cannot do is come out swinging. It's a real impulse to do it, but just from a professional standpoint, because we deal with such intense issues in this program, it's really important that we own how we're feeling, recognize how we're feeling, and consider how best to express that. And the rule that works time and time again is to just start with I and say, I feel crappy, I feel angry. And you know, when we do that, we can hear it. You know, I'm here to respond, Jasmine's here to respond, the other professors are here to respond, and we're happy to help. The other piece about that, and I mean, I trust all of you that we've all grown in that way, and we all need that reminder, all of us, to be professional, to be measured, to be careful in our communications and respectful in our communications. I want to make a note about email. Email is one of those things where we can sometimes, because we feel anonymous and we're not face-to-face with a person, we can sometimes be careless with our language and we can let our frustration show. And the result is, what you may be saying is, I'm really frustrated, this didn't work, why can't this happen? Comes across as something a little bit rude and a lot unprofessional. So this is going to be a time in which we learn those things too. When I want us to really be careful with our written communication this year as prep for professional work. Again, we say, I'm frustrated with this and I'm seeking an answer. That's all we need to do. But email communication and other written forms of communication can sometimes convey the wrong thing, come across as rude or unprofessional. So that's my little note about that. We can keep talking about these things. As you can tell, I'm expecting a lot from you. I expect a lot from you because I actually believe that that's what I'm going to get. You're a really talented bunch, and there's a very cool dynamic amongst you that I think is only going to grow and develop. So can't wait to see you all and get rolling. We're going to do some very neat things in community development. I'm really excited about that. And that's about it. No panicking. Don't touch that button. We'll see you Thursday, 9:30.